About what?
I can't remember.
Oh yeah, dreams are funny like that. I had a dream last night about a butterfly. No, I was a butterfly. I metamorphosed somehow. Maybe not. I can't remember exactly. It was a good dream.
Everybody was wearing a mask. And you were definitely in it though.
Was I wearing a mask?
I can't remember if you're wearing a mask or not. Maybe at first, or maybe at the end. I can't remember all of it.
Is that all?
No.
Well, tell me about it. What do you remember?
It was dark and
I have a dream today.
So we started off with a huge structured kind of, not structured in terms of organized, but structured in terms of the story. The story was structured. We started off as like a big setup. This is what we were going to do. This was the story. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. You know, we wanted to start making something that was big. You know, we wanted to show that we meant business as an art group.
100 years later, in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of...
We came to this kind of scene where we would have, you know, our main character who was, at first was William and then became Nicole, but in the story it remains William. And the whole idea of William was that he was in a society, and the main idea of the society, kind of like a slogan for this kind of political regime, was standardization is everything. You know, he looks again and it becomes scrutinization is everything, you know. So it's kind of showing what the true meaning of what this kind of society is and what it means to us. Standardization is everything becomes scrutinization is everything. You know? And so when people say, you know, everything must be at a certain standard, you know, and when they're always pushing to try and accomplish the standard and everything underneath the standard is not acceptable or just not adequate for society. So we use kind of, you know, things to represent this, like masks, like timetables, like, you know, fake things, and the whole idea was just a society where one could not be what they wanted to be due to control. You know, what is normal? This is mainly the idea of what we were trying to tackle on here, is what is normal? What do we as people believe is normal? You know, is normal really normal? What the story was very much standardized. The storyline was very strict, not so changeable. And you know, then we encountered certain difficulties. Leonardo, and he was, I mean, just eating a waffle. That was it. Leonardo ate a waffle. And this alone, this took about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It required a lot of time. And something like time is just not what our students had. Right? We had things like SATs, we had things like personal statements, university applications, application letters, all of these things. I mean, it's a lot of work. We didn't have time to actually make this huge project, which is what we planned out to do. Everything was so wild, but there was no control. Everything was crazy. There was no control, there was no order. you know, through realization, through people leaving, Leonardo going to Canada, William moving to Beijing. You know, we lost people that we wanted. I mean, Vivicora cut her fingernails. I mean, you know, that set us back. We couldn't film Vivicora slapping Leonardo with painted fingernails because, well, she didn't have any fingernails. Realized, well, you know, this is a lot more than what we thought it was. And making a movie is actually a fairly complicated process. I mean, it's not just what you see in the movie, it's a whole lot of things behind the scenes, you know, and I think in that sense it was very much a learning process. Art through fun through art, but you know, art is not only fun, it's representative. You know, you have to make something that kind of represents you, and lots of people had the experience of learning, you know, this is what happens behind the scenes. This is such a small movie. I mean, when we talk about special effects, I mean, we had none. When we talk about budget, we had none. But just even with our small little project, with our small little movie, we understood, you know, a movie takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, it takes time. You could say the movie was kind of a caterpillar. In the beginning, the story was a caterpillar stuck in a controlled society. You know, this controlled society was being our collective mindset on what this movie should be. We couldn't make this movie what we wanted to do, so we could say this is a cocoon phase. This is evolution of the idea. And so the development of what this caterpillar through the cocoon phase developed into a butterfly that couldn't fly. It's kind of ironic that we, you know, made this movie about a caterpillar that cocoons, turns into a butterfly that wants to fly away. But, you know, our movie itself came from a caterpillar through its cocoon phase to a butterfly that couldn't fly away, you know. And so I guess what you're seeing in this movie now is pretty much not a failure, but what we could do. This is what we present to you as our movie.
Oh my!
With the camera.
What have we done?
With the camera.
It is amazing!
Wow!
Oh. Amazing! It should be very dramatic.
Yeah, that's quite dramatic.
Oh. It is amazing!
It's amazing! They just like,
Amazing! Amazing!
Do it.
No worries, free speech comes easier after a while.